All right, so you may not love this episode that we are doing today, and I apologize ahead of time if you get offended. I am talking about a local city and the top 10 reasons why people hate living there. Can you guess which one it is? We are talking about Atlanta, Georgia. Hi there, my name is Maggie Turno, and if you're new here, I am a local real estate agent in the greater Athens area. I've lived here for over 20 years, and my team and I help buyers and sellers just like you move in and around a lot of areas of Georgia, actually. So if you are looking to make a transition and you're looking for some advice or need some help, we would be happy to help you. We want to be your number one resource when it comes to real estate. But back to today's topic, Atlanta is a big metropolis city that offers both exciting opportunities and some notable challenges. Being 15 to 20 miles long and about 15 miles wide, the city stretches over a large portion of Georgia. It's a hub for businesses, culture, and education, home to major corporations like Coca-Cola, Delta, and Home Depot, as well as renowned institutions like Georgia Tech and Emory University. Now, I will say one of the things that I particularly love about Atlanta is the airport. You can fly direct almost to anywhere you want to go, and even though we might be the busiest airport in the country, I think flying direct without layovers is actually a big pro. So let's get back to today's episode. Here are my top 10 reasons why clients and friends have actually told me they do not like living there. Number one is traffic. I'm sure you all saw this one coming, but we can't talk about Atlanta without talking about the traffic. Atlanta is notorious for its traffic jams, especially during rush hour. The city's sprawling layout means many people rely on cars, but the road system often can't keep up with the population. With limited public transportation options compared to other major cities, getting around can be a frustrating, time-consuming experience. MARTA provides bus and rail services, but it's limited in scope and doesn't cover all the areas. Many residents feel that the city's public transportation options are inadequate compared to other major cities, which forces people to rely on cars. If you want to hop on I-75 or 285, well, you better get comfortable sitting in stop and go traffic for a while if you ever want to get where you're going. Atlanta traffic is not to be messed with, and it's a huge reason people want to stay out of the city as a whole. Our second reason why people don't love the city is its heat. Atlanta summers are known for their extreme heat and high humidity, which can make outdoor activities uncomfortable. Temperatures can soar into the 90s and almost hundreds, and the humidity often makes it feel even hotter. The sticky summer weather can be draining for people not used to it. The city's humid climate also means that the heat lasts for several months, making it difficult to enjoy outdoor life during the peak of summer. Staying inside during the summer is sometimes your only option unless your apartment complex has a rooftop pool or you live somewhere with a pool in the backyard. Besides those two options, finding a place to cool off could be hard during these intense summer months with nearby lakes a good ways away. Next up is the crime, and the third reason why people are staying out of Atlanta. The crime rate in Atlanta is higher than the national average, and although some neighborhoods are definitely safer than others, it overall is higher in the city versus a suburban neighborhood a little outside of the city. Car break-ins and theft can also be common, particularly in urban areas and parking lots. However, the city has done a lot to make sure most areas feel safe, therefore there are a few neighborhoods that are considered safe. But in the heart of the city, this can be a decent issue for people. Safety is obviously a huge priority for most when finding a place to live, so this aspect can easily turn people away from the city of Atlanta. Our next reason for why people are being steered away from Atlanta is the cost of living. We touched a little bit on this in our last episode, so if you haven't seen that video, make sure to give that a quick look after this video is over. But while historically more affordable than other large cities like New York or San Francisco, housing costs in Atlanta have been rising. Rent prices and home values have been increasing, particularly in trendy neighborhoods, making it harder for some people to find affordable housing. With prices on the uphill climb, being able to live in the city comfortably has gotten a lot more difficult with time. The combined local sales tax along with property taxes can also make Atlanta an expensive place to call home. Although the value of real estate is pretty high in the city, if you can't afford to pay the taxes on those properties, investing here can definitely be tough for some. The median home value is a bit above the national average of around $400,000, making it a more expensive place to live overall, especially if you are looking in the nicer, safer neighborhoods like Brookhaven, Buckhead, and Virginia Highlands. Another reason why people just do not love Atlanta is the lack of walkability and green spaces. Now remember, we're talking about the city of Atlanta, not the suburbs and areas around it. So Atlanta's spread out nature means that many areas are car dependent, and the city lacks the walkability and density of other cities like New York or San Francisco. This can make it less appealing for people who prefer to live in more compact, pedestrian-friendly urban areas. Also, while Atlanta does have parks, the city's rapid expansion and sprawl have led to a reduction in green spaces in some neighborhoods. Green spaces are available but very limited, and although it is surrounded by the skyline of the city, you would have to go outside the city in order to achieve a wide open green space. Alright, so let's talk education. The education system is also another reason why people, especially families, are choosing to settle outside of the city. Atlanta has access to many pristine private schools, but for families that can't afford the high prices of those private schools, the public school system can be found to be underfunded and have some challenges as well. Compared to the education system found in metro Atlanta counties like Cobb and Fulton, these good public schools can be hard to find. And education is a major factor when it comes to choosing where to live and raise a family. It's the top choice of many of the families that we serve every day. So this is why it just makes it another reason why people are turning away from Atlanta. Now, our next thing we're going to talk about is pollution. Pollution is a significant problem in Atlanta, and it stems from a combination of factors related to urban growth, geography, industrial activity, and transportation patterns. While efforts are underway to address pollution, it remains a persistent issue in the city. Traffic and vehicle emissions, construction activity, and its geographical climate are many characteristics that can contribute to the pollution problem in the city. Living clean in the city is harder due to its location, and with a hustling city, emissions and loud construction seems to be a constant. Now, along with pollution comes our next reason why people just don't love Atlanta is waste. Atlanta, like many large cities, has waste management issues that contribute to pollution. While the city has made strides in increasing recycling, landfills still play a significant role in waste disposal. Decomposing waste in landfills generates methane and other greenhouse gases, which contribute to air pollution and climate change. Pollution also affects Atlanta's waterways. Runoff from roads and industrial areas can carry pollutants like oil, chemicals, and trash into rivers and streams, contributing to water pollution. This might not seem like a huge problem to a lot of people, but it can definitely add up and negatively affect the water you drink and the air that you breathe. Our next reason why people don't love living in Atlanta is the shortage of parks, trails, and outdoor activities. Popular parks like Piedmont Park and the Atlanta Beltline offer great outdoor spaces, but because the city is so densely populated and not all neighborhoods are served equally, these areas can become overcrowded, especially on the weekends. People looking for quieter or more private outdoor experiences may be disappointed with the number of visitors at the more well-known parks. Many areas in and around the city don't have well-maintained or easily accessible walking or biking paths, which can be a big reason why people choose to move to other places. And the final reason, number 10, that people just don't love Atlanta is the problem it can cause for people with allergies. If you are allergic to pollen and struggle with allergies during those spring and summer months, then you might want to be aware of this before making the potential move to the city. The city's unique combination of climate, vegetation, and urbanization creates an environment where pollen levels can be high, leading to significant allergy symptoms for many residents. Atlanta is surrounded by a dense forested area, and the city has a wealth of trees that contribute heavily to pollen production, especially during the spring. Atlanta's humid climate means that it has long, hot summers and relatively mild winters. The climate also contributes to the growth of mold, another common allergen. Bugs can also be a problem in the city, which might come as a surprise. From mosquitoes to termites, and from ants to even the palmetto bugs, the combination of these factors leads to ongoing pest issues for residents. While there are ways to help the problem, bugs just are a significant nuisance in this region, particularly in the warmer months when their populations peak. So I know we talked a lot about Atlanta today, and specifically why people don't love living in the city or want to call it home, but along with other major cities, it does have its positives. With being a major travel hub and close to so many job opportunities, the city is rapidly growing, and with so much demand to live in the city, it can be hard to find an affordable place to live. Atlanta can be tricky, but can also be a great fit for some people who love the fast-paced lifestyle of a downtown metro city. Athens now, let's talk about it for a minute. It's just way more my speed, and if you want to hear more about Athens, especially how it compares to Atlanta, like I said, make sure that you watch the episode that we actually did last week. That's it, you guys. What do you think about those 10 reasons? Hopefully I didn't offend you. Hopefully you understand. And if you live in Atlanta, what is the one reason that you just don't love living there? Why don't you comment below and let's chat. And if you are thinking about buying and selling or investing in the Metro Atlanta area or the Greater Athens area, I have teams in both areas, and we would be delighted to help you find your next home. Again, my name is Maggie Turno, and as always, make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment so that you stay in the know with all things real estate in Georgia. See you next time.